Good morning. What a good morning. What a strange morning. Sometimes when you wake up, the first thing you got to do is meditate. Sometimes waking up is a trap, right? And like the only way to fix it is to just step into it and kick in its teeth. So you got to deal with it. So I had this plan, right? As I started a couple days ago on like these life lessons that I wanted to like get into and share my views with. So maybe some of you could hear what I had to say and take it farther than I have because you can only do so much, right? You can only do so much. But by having to meditate this morning, I realized that the message I thought I wanted to share and talk about, that I'd like put some thought into, and like it went right out the window, and I got something really important to say instead. That's how I feel about this morning's energy. Really important things to talk about. It's on my heart. There we go. That's a better way to say it, right? I'm still learning how to communicate in a way that communicates with people without triggering or offending them. I'm working on that because my instinctive nature is to trigger. I I don't even mean to. It just happens, and I of trigger people. Please understand it's on my heart, and I feel terrible about this. Regardless of the positive outcomes, it's still not. I don't feel good about any of it. There's no like, haha, I told you so. There's none of it. There's no. It's strangely unsettling to be unsatisfied at justice because I still think that there's always a better way. I never give up on that thought. I know there's a better way. It's not even like a question. It's I know. And it's only for my life, right? Like I can't tell you guys how to live your lives. I've never lived in your lives. I've never experienced your lives. I can't walk in your shoes and my feet don't fit. Like I don't pretend to have answers for anything other than how I walk the path that I walk. And I got one of these keys, right? I picked this up today. I thought I figured bring this key up. I have this key that I want to give you. I mean, I should have already given it to all of you. I've tried to give it away a couple of times, but not like in a capacity where like I was actually trying to give it away. It was more like just an explanation and a ha-ha. And I feel like I feel like everybody should have this, good or evil. I feel like everybody should have this tool because this, to me, for my life experience, this is how I do shadow work. And it's through meditation. And regardless of what meditations I go through, there's a basic building block that I use. And so we're just going to do a little thing. Excuse me. We're just going to do a little thing. I'm going to walk you through a simple meditation. Now, the thing is I need to give you a little background on psychology before we start this exercise. I need you to understand the commitment that you have to make to see the results in your own life. I can't just give it to you and then 4 days later you're like, bruh, that's not how it works. So we're going to go into it just a little bit. And this is just my view. Again, like I'm not trying to like piss any off. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying how come what I'm doing is working. That's the only thing I can leave is like an opposing argument. Like cause and effect, end result. If you look at end results, is it about being right or is it about making sure that the end result is right? Which is more important? And if it's more important that you're right, you definitely need to keep listening to this video because I got something for you and it's going to help. You see, because there's a difference between needing to be right and doing what's right. Do you see all the space between my hands? That's a lot of space. In the computing world with digital, do you know how many things you can do with a motherboard that's this, or just the main mother on the board being this? Do you understand how much space that is? Huge. Huge. So I have something, and it's a simple meditation. And the thing is like, for this to work, you have to do it for 61 days. You go, what? 61 days is what it takes psychologically to either end a cycle of something you're doing, a bad habit, or start a cycle of something that you want to do as a good habit, be it exercise, dieting, I meditation. It doesn't matter. You have to practice for 61 days straight without fail, and you'll find on day 62 it comes naturally, no matter what. It's so crazy, but that's how human brains work. And you're not a human brain, you're in control of the brain. You have to set the programming yourself. You have to. You have to decide to do something until it becomes part of who you are, or vice versa. I don't like this about myself anymore. Stop doing it for 61 days. And I don't care what it is, and I don't care how hard it is. It's all psychological. You will not die. A 61-day trap. That's how long it takes to change the entire world. 61 days. Exactly. To change the whole human psychology, psychosis. A lot of words there. More to come. Like 61 days to fix the whole world. And no matter what, no matter how much you want to be right, how is it that psychology would only apply to a certain person or individual or group of people and doesn't apply to the whole human psyche? If I'm wrong, how come it works perfectly, but nobody tries to do it en masse in a positive way? Yes, negative. Oh, God, fear mongering. We've already had a conversation too about this. But a conscious understanding for 61 days that something is actual truth will make it truth in mass, or make it into a lie in mass. It only takes 61 days to slide a lie in and call it truth. 61 days of somebody believing this to be a truth, for this to be a truth. Your belief takes 61 days psychologically to be changed. 61 days. So, I'm asking for 61 days of your time. Exactly. And I won't have to ask you if you're still doing it on day 62, because in day 62, as you live in this meditation, you're going to start doing things that I'd have never thought of. You're going to do things that no one thought were possible. The impossible is going to fade away into absolute beauty into your life no matter what. And you're going to help all of us win. If someone like me can figure out how beautiful the world is, if I can go through what I've been through and decide to love, if I can do it, if I can do it, I believe that anyone has the capacity to do anything that I do, and I have the capacity to do anything that anyone else does. I think that that interchangeable belief is the difference between fear and truth. I'm not afraid anything's true. Personal truths, universal truths. Hell, instead of even arguing with people, I just collect the truths that I hear and I just keep putting them together as this bigger truth. For me, like for me, for my understanding, for me to try to figure out what is truth. And I don't even know, why do we strive to understand truth? It's that alignment, right? It's that alignment. It's the knowing instinctively what's right and wrong, knowing it, not even having to second guess, question. It's just there. You already know. There's no difference between you and me. You know what's right and wrong. You know it. I know it. Our parents try to teach it. We might have poo-hooed it, but we know how it feels to be hurt. So how could you say you don't understand when you hurt someone else? You can't. You're lying to yourself. You're living unbalanced. You never stop to consider the ripple effect of what is. And it's not negative. Look, we're individual creators creating our own reality as we go through. The problem is in that understanding of self, we've forgotten we're not alone. All the shit in your house, somebody else had to build it for you to buy it. For you to watch your favorite program, somebody had to spend a lot of time writing up that script. For you to have an experience, someone had to long time ago think about how it could happen so you could have the experience now. Evil people are affecting your life. We're all interconnected. Slowly but surely, people are like falling down. Not because they're bad, because they now believe that they're not who they thought they were. They now believe they're less than they thought they were. They're now less confident. They're less charismatic. Charismatic? Cars. I don't know. You know what I mean. I have a speech impediment sometimes. I can't get a word out. I can't talk over my tooth. My tooth coming out took a whole section of my words out somehow. I can't whistle right either. It's weird. It's not the same. So let's talk about this meditation. Because this meditation has the power to transform your entire life. It's not hard. It's not sacred. It's not holy. It's not hidden. The information simply wasn't available yet, and now it is. And it's not that it wasn't before. I found it from someone else. They didn't even mean to give it to me, or the way that they used it wasn't the same way that I saw it. And by changing how I saw it, I changed how I used it. And I meditated this meditation into a meditation. And it's serious. And I probably talk a lot. You're like, shut up and tell me already. I want to trigger you first. I can't help it. I want to see how you see before you see how I see. I want to hear you rage. I want to hear you bring forward all of this irritation is being slowed down. I'm fighting it too. And in fighting it, I'm finding a lesson in it. And the lesson in it is give it to me. Go ahead. And now that you're done, here's your lesson. Close your eyes. I want you in your mind, in your imagination, that place you never play. I want you to imagine a river. What's your river look like, bro? How deep is it, woman? What does it look like? Is it running through the stream, through a mountain scene, trees and birds and bears and Flowers all around. Is it running through a city, some high bustling city, and you're sitting on top of a building and you can see your river in a way that no one else can see? What does your river look like? Does it flow through the sands? Is it there in the desert, the only life bringer in a place so barren? Where is your river? Is it in a jungle? Is it overgrown? Is it barely transferable? Is your river a raging, raging river, something that has waterfalls and hidden rapids? What does your river look like? Can you see it? I want you to walk into your river. You will find when you get into your river that the very center of it is exactly at your chest. No higher, no lower, and unlike any river you've ever been in your entire life, instead of pushing you down the river, it holds you in place in a way that you've never felt before, like a hug. This that you stand in is who you are. This is your energy. This is you on a level you maybe never felt before. And there you are. You are standing in the river. Can you see it? Can you feel it? What do you smell? Is the sun out? Is there a raging, raging storm going across the top of your river? What does your river look like? How does it feel? Don't open your eyes. Just feel that river flowing through you, because you see it's flowing right through you. There's no resistance because it's literally you. You're just standing there. Now I want you to take the irritation that you felt in waiting to hear about your very own river, the anger, the resentment, something that just came to your mind the second I said it, and I want you to take it and I want it in your hands. Take it out of your heart and put it in your hands. Look at it in front of you and set it on top of the water and let it float away. Visualize this thing floating away from you. You see it getting smaller. You feel it losing its power over you. You feel a different way inside your soul by letting loose of one thing. What you've done just now is you've given your problems to your higher self. You have taken that thing that was inside you and holding you down, and you released it to your true self to figure out. And now that thing is going to be figured out. Open your eyes. You feel that little bit of power all of a sudden, a tingle up your spine. That's you thanking yourself for caring enough, for going home to yourself within. If you love yourself, or if you hate yourself, come to your river. When you want to cry, when you want to ball into a little ball and just disappear, when you want to burn the world down, come to your river. Come here. This is the hardest meditation you're ever going to learn. Some of you might try every morning, some of you might try every night, and it's going to be hard to even find it, especially without me walking you into it. But I already just showed you how to do it. I showed you. You can't deny what I just showed. And you'll get there. And if you really, really, really understand, you'll go there every day. And sometimes you'll go there 6 times a day. And sometimes you have to sit there in a dark room by yourself for the entire day, just trying to stay in your river. And And every kind of distraction will now start to bother you. New things that you did not think, but you just pulled the cork on your own soul. And a lot of you may already have a reason in your head why you should go right back to the river. Right now, you got more shit to drop off. But there's a catch. For everything you let go of, you have to accept the consequence of. If you did wrong, you did wrong. Own it. If you did right and you don't understand why it's still going wrong, feel blessed and grateful. The wrong being done to you is done to right something else, and it's just going to come back around. And all you have to do to participate in this, to protect yourself, any of you can deal with a bad day. Anybody can. You can give me the worst day in the world tomorrow. Even if it was like I lost a toe, I'm going to get up and I'll be like, man, I got cigarettes. I got some weed. You know, I can still walk. We're doing pretty good. Even if I'm just like, oh God, I lost my toe. I'm going to be a cripple for life. Who cares? Who cares how we look? It doesn't stop a smile. This meditation will be your foundation. No, 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 and no on everything else. There's new rules. There are new guidelines. None of the old ways are going to work no more. They were all false anyway. So, thank you for coming and taking my gift. Thank yourself for doing it. Don't stop meditating. Just get in your river and stay there. And even if the whole world's on fire, it can't burn you if you're standing in your river. It can't. It can't even get to the shore. It can't even fish off the bank. It cannot. It can't do it. But you have to stand in your river. And as you get there, you know what's going to happen day 62? You're going to experience something. I promise. It happens every day 62. I don't know how to tell you why. It's just this is human psychology and this is what's going to happen. And you're going to attract a situation on day 62 that immediately without thinking puts you in a situation in your mind with the river and bam, river, let this go. And then you'll be able to deal with that situation with kindness and grace and gratitude. And something that may have just like on day 59 set you off, day 62, you not only heal from it, but you help somebody else heal from it. Day 62. It's October, which means you could be fully shielded up by January 1st. Wait, is that the right number? Yeah, by January 1st. It's going to take a few days to start and stop it anyway. But by January 1st, I fully expect a whole bunch of people to be in their river. And if they're in their river, oh, if you guys come to your rivers. What did it say in the Bible? Show me 10 righteous men and I'll change the entire world and save everyone. 10 righteous men. Show me 5 righteous men and I will spare the rod. I'm not even Christian. It's just a good parable. We're going to get into religion in one of these conversations. We're going to have a real talk about the history of religions and what they actually mean, and there's connections. I can show you. I'll weave them together for you in a nice little column for you, and I'll write it all down so you can see the correlations and why and how my mind works in putting things together. But if 10 people say it from 10 different angles, it's probably truth. Unless there's a blatant lie that binds it. And if it binds it, why is it bound if it's not truth? What is the truth that had to be bound and controlled? You can't build anything with lies. You can't build anything with darkness. You cannot build a single brick that will stand. But there's all these truths in religion. You see it? And all the way around, there's like these little angles, right? Like it's a multifaceted crystal. And on this crystal are all the different ways they've allowed you to kind of view a fucking obscure angle of truth. And I'm going to show you how they did it and why they did it. I want you to know that before I started this video, I did a video and I had to restart like a 9-minute video and go through this whole thing again. I can't tell you how many little things like popped up this morning, like an irritation. Like I woke up, my phone was off. That's just number one. Like, now you can't get online. Now you can't listen to anybody else talk. Now you can't speak. Like, I had that bitch on 15 minutes after I was awake. Synchronicity. Bam, I figured it out. Done. Phone's on. And then I upgraded so I had unlimited data. Done. No more of that nonsense. And then I came down here. Plumbing problems in my RV. Mess everywhere. Had to clean all that up. It's fun, right? And then the video shorted out on me. My phone took a gnarly one, and it was like, you're out of memory. And then I just spent like a half an hour going through and deleting all this weird stuff and like, and then I made this video. And that's because I never get out of my river. It's mine. It feels amazing. It's like spiritual. It's like petting your own brain and it purring. I don't know how else to explain it to you. Like standing there in your river, no matter what comes, like they're throwing these huge stones. If you just duck under the water is steel, bro. Like it's like whack-a-mole. It's like wham, wham, wham. And it just keeps hitting the top of the water. And so, like, I just want to leave you with this mantra. I just want to leave you with this tool. And you can leave it here. You ain't got to take it home. Don't even try it. Man, it probably sucks anyway, right? But if you saw this video and you needed something, somehow you didn't get the piece of armor you needed, this is it. This is where it's at. Because in your mind, in your imagination, is the key to everything you're ever going to want. And all you have to do is love yourself. And the first step to loving yourself, oh friends and enemies of mine, is to take responsibility for everything that you've created that you haven't taken responsibility for and therefore are carrying around. And since you're carrying it around, your shoulders are going, oh God. That's a you problem. Go to your river. Thank you for coming and listening.